The trading hub of Xylara 9 was a testament to galactic prosperity. Thousands of species mingled beneath crystalline domes, exchanging goods, information, and the occasional insult. But in the darkest corner of the maintenance sector, something stirred in the shadows. Something the galaxy had deemed unworthy of light. Terran Wolf hadn't meant to stumble into that forgotten corridor. The human engineer was simply tracking a power fluctuation when he heard it, a low, rasping whimper that made his chest tighten. Following the sound, he found a creature huddled behind a waste converter, its body trembling. The being was unlike anything Terran had encountered in his 5 years exploring the galaxy. 6 mismatched limbs jutted from a skeletal frame covered in patchy, mottled skin that seemed to shift between gray and sickly green. One eye was milky white, the other a startling amber that tracked Terran's movements with desperate intelligence. Scars crisscrossed its body and its jaw hung slightly askew, revealing broken teeth. "Hey there," Terran whispered, crouching down slowly. "You're in rough shape, aren't you?" The creature's good eye blinked and it pressed itself harder against the wall. Terran later learned the creature's designation from station records. Korath, abandoned by the Vraxian Science Collective 3 cycles ago. The notes were clinical and cold. Failed genetic experiment. Aesthetic defects render subject unsuitable for companionship protocols. Scheduled for disposal. But disposal never came. The bureaucracy forgot, and Korath survived on scraps and shadows, invisible to a galaxy that valued beauty and perfection above all else. Terran didn't see a failed experiment. He saw what he'd always seen in Earth's unwanted creatures, a living being that deserved a chance. It took 2 weeks of patient visits before Korath allowed Terran to touch him. The human brought food synthesized to match Vraxian biology, spoke in soft tones and never made sudden movements. Slowly, trust built where neglect had reigned. "You're coming with me," Terran announced one day, producing a makeshift harness. No argument. Korath's amber eye widened, but he didn't resist as Terran gently secured the straps and led him through the station. The stares were immediate. Species from 100 worlds stopped mid-transaction to gawk at the hideous creature limping beside the human. "That thing shouldn't be in public," a Zenthari merchant hissed, her translator rendering disgust perfectly. "He has as much right to walk here as you do," Terran replied evenly, though his jaw tightened. The comments continued. Everywhere they went, beings recoiled. Some covered their offspring's visual organs. Others made the galactic sign of warding off misfortune. One particularly bold Kralix tried to report Terran to station security for disturbing the peace with genetic refuse. Terran ignored them all. He'd grown up on Earth, where humanity had learned a crucial lesson that the wider galaxy apparently missed. Worth wasn't measured in appearances. The turning point came during the Xylara station crisis. A rogue mining drone, its AI corrupted by solar radiation, went berserk in the primary commercial sector. Its cutting lasers sliced through support beams, and within minutes a section of the dome began collapsing. Dozens of beings were trapped beneath falling debris, and the station's emergency systems failed to respond. Terran was running toward the chaos when Korath suddenly pulled against the harness, his malformed body tensing with purpose. For a moment, Terran considered holding him back, but something in that amber eye spoke of determination, not fear. "All right, boy, let's go." They plunged into the disaster zone together. While other species fled, Korath moved with startling precision through the rubble. His mismatched limbs, so ungainly in appearance, navigated the treacherous terrain with uncanny grace. His asymmetrical body slipped through gaps that would trap more perfectly proportioned beings. When they found a family of Delphinians trapped beneath a collapsed vendor stall, Korath didn't hesitate. He wedged his scarred body under the debris, using his strongest limbs as leverage while his weaker ones braced against the ground. The effort tore open old wounds and created new ones, but Korath held steady until Terran could pull the family free. Again and again they repeated the process. Korath's heightened senses, products of the same genetic experimentation that made him ugly, detected trapped beings through solid walls. His misshapen jaw, which the Vraxians deemed defective, had unusual strength that allowed him to grip and move smaller debris. By the time station security regained control of the drone, Terran and Korath had saved 43 lives. The galaxy watched the security footage in stunned silence. News networks across 1,000 worlds broadcast the images. A scarred, misshapen creature moving with purpose and courage while more perfect beings stood paralyzed by fear. The Zenthari merchant who'd called Korath that thing publicly apologized, tears streaming down her scaled face. "I have never been more wrong about anyone," she transmitted on every public channel. The Vraxian Science Collective tried to reclaim Korath, citing ownership rights. Terran's response was short and decidedly human. "Try it and you'll discover why we don't leave our friends behind." They didn't try. Within a month, Korath's image appeared on everything from children's learning programs to inspirational posters. But more importantly, attitudes began shifting. Genetic failures and aesthetic defects were reassessed across dozens of worlds. Beings who'd been hidden away in shame were brought into the light. Terran watched it all with quiet satisfaction from the observation deck of his newly acquired ship, a gift from grateful Delphinians. Korath sat beside him, his mismatched limbs tucked comfortably beneath his scarred body, his amber eye reflecting the stars. "You know what the funny thing is?" Terran said, scratching behind what might have been Korath's ear. "Humans figured this out thousands of years ago. We had a saying, 'Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.' Took the galaxy long enough to catch up." Korath made a sound that might have been agreement, his broken jaw giving it an unusual harmonic quality. To Terran, it was the most beautiful sound in the universe. As their ship jumped to hyperspace, leaving Xylara 9 behind, Terran smiled. The galaxy had learned an important lesson, one humanity had known since the first human looked at a wolf and saw not a predator, but a friend. Sometimes the most extraordinary beings are the ones everyone else overlooked, and sometimes all they need is one person willing to see them for who they really are.